Hello and good evening. It's Friday again. I know I only told you that last night, but it's here. And it's been quite a nice day today, although it's got a little bit cooler now, but I'm not complaining because I rather like a cooler day. So, end of yet another week, beginning of the last bank holiday weekend of the beginning of the year. Obviously we've got Christmas and Boxing Day to come, but it is the last of the normal bank holidays throughout the year. So I wonder what you're going to be doing. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Probably working. Hello Shirley. When I say working, it's my type of working. I should probably be working on, hello Jane, and hello Christine. I should be working on more orders. Hello Lindsay. And I should also be working on the mini quilt, which will be next Tuesday in the Sew with Trisha group. Hello Sarah. Who did I miss there? Liz. Oh, sorry Liz. Yes, Liz Cox. Hello. And Maria from a wet Somerset. Oh dear, not wet here yet. Hello Sue. Hello Jane. Hello Jill. Whoops. Hello Anne. Oh, keep missing these. Hello Fiona. You've got winter clothes on today. I'm summery today. I've had this dress hanging for 3-4 months, and I thought, won't fit. I thought I'll try it on today. And so I've had a little bit of wear out of it. Whether I'll wear it again, I don't know. But we'll see. I didn't feel like putting jeans on today. Hello Pamela, how are you? I'm on a little bit earlier because I was ready. No doubt I shall have forgotten something because that's what I do. I think I'm all set, and then, oops, I've forgotten to cut this, that or the other. Hello Christine. Oh, thank you Fiona. I do like a deep colour. Oh, and thank you Sue. Hello Beverly, back from Holly Bob's. Yeah, you have got lots to catch up with. We have been going, hello Shirley, hello Jean. We've been going full stop, all the time. We've had 3 this week. Oh, we had the subscription box, which I'll just give you a little update on those in a moment. Oh, Shirley's sitting in shorts and t-shirt, lovely. Hello Bev. I would normally as well, but I think I was that yesterday. Hope you're well, Bev. I'm sure Vanessa will be along soon. Vanessa's one of our beginners at, with sewing. Well, probably coming up for a year now, but oh my goodness. Hello Alison, hello Pollyanne. Oh, you're just slicing your runner beans. Do you know? There's people in the care home. My mum is still running her little garden vegetable patch, and she grew runner beans this year. Hello Tony. And she's had loads and loads, so she's got too many for just herself. Hello Caroline, hello Judith. So she took some in for the carers in the home. They didn't know what they were. Unbelievable. Somebody said, hello Ginny, somebody said, oh, do you eat them like sweet corn on the cob? But there we go. Hello Kathleen, I do love a runner bean. Oh, thank you Bev. I do love a runner bean, I must admit, and I've had some, but good evening Catherine. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So the subscription box make was a demo on this page yesterday evening. So if you wanted, who's looking like a Smurf? You dyed your hair today, it came out. That's probably what I'll look like then, because I am deliberating. I was going to go old gracefully, and that's it, like my silver streaks at the side, but I think last week I was convinced, no, do what you like, so I might have a colour on at some point. Runner beans, green beans, broad beans, so I love them all. Broad beans, you don't see them so much these days, but I do love them, my dad loved them as well. Hello Amanda, hello Christine, nearly missed you there Christine. And how could I miss Christine? Hello Joanne, hello Carolyn, Pollyanne, those from your mother-in-law's garden, lovely. Pink, too stringy for us, oh right, yeah, As they don't go, yes, French beans, yeah, absolutely. Eat them whole. Mmm, love those. I always buy them ready trimmed, then lazy way, isn't it? Yes. Oh, so pink for Tony next time. I'm a little bit too old, and wouldn't it clash with this? Mind you, I would go with Tula Pink and Cape Facet if I had cerise hair and a coral peachy top. Mmm. So Catherine used to dye her hair before lockdown, and it burned your head. Oh, gosh, goodness. That's no good, is it? Oh, yes, my mum's leg. Much, much better. She drove for the first time yesterday and was fine. And I think she's gone today. I haven't been over today because, funnily enough, I had loads of scrap boxes to get ready. And it is amazing how long it takes me to get a scrap box together. All fresh peas up the pod. So thank you, Lindsay. She is getting on really well. Dad is not so good. It's probably more like 5 days not so good and 1 day good. So, yeah, I don't know. I shall see him tomorrow. But there we go. There we go. Hello, Janet. Hello, Jan. Shirley's let her hair go grey. And people say, yeah, I thought that. I wondered about having highlights, but I don't know which colour highlights I would have. I will give her your love, Lindsay, yes. Oh, that's a good idea, Anne. When she went to see Pink, hello, Linda, she dyed her hair pink. What a great idea. Probably semi-permanent, so that it washes out. I might do that once or twice. But I haven't had the opportunity yet to do anything like that. I'm blowing bubbles today. Judy's me too. Hello, Jill. Hello, John. Hiya there. Oh, we're still on the run of beans. You can't find them in... No! I don't think supermarkets have heard of them. Yeah, it's a case of having to... Hello, Aurora. Having to grow your own or know somebody who does that. She has grown potatoes this year, which we've had a few of those, and they're delicious. Tomatoes. And, you know, for 89 years old, it's pretty good. And as I say, her leg was poorly, probably for about 3 weeks, but much improved now. She still uses a stick, but that's good, because you've got to have a little bit of confidence with something, haven't you? There she is. There's our Vanessa. What's that? You're at a barbecue. Hello, Karen. Vanessa, whenever she's out and we're on with a session, she might get a little bit bored. So she logs on to Trisha Time and watches that. So you may be saying the wrong thing when somebody asks you a question. You might be saying yes and you mean no. You never know what you'll let yourself in for, Vanessa. But you enjoy yourself. Oh, blimey, you shaved it, Tony. That was very brave. Hello, Ellen. Hope you're well. Hello, Karen. Nice new name. Welcome to Trisha Time and all the lovely ladies in this group. Perhaps you've been watching in the wings, but today you decided you'd comment and say hello. So welcome, and I hope you enjoy. Hello, Anne, and oh, Tesco's near you. Catherine doesn't have them. I'm all yours for a minute. Oh, lovely. A minute will be grand. I shall enjoy that very much. Now, I wrote myself a list. Oh, honestly. You see what I mean? I said I'm all prepared. I write myself a list because I've got a few things to say. Oh well, it has to come off the top of my head again. I don't usually write lists, but there are a few things to talk about. And where are we? There we are. Oh, welcomes to Karen. Oh, Veronica. Hello, Veronica. I didn't see you there. So welcome. You're new. Enjoy. We have a lovely little chat to begin with. Hello, Karen. Welcome to Karen. Hello, Nikki. And you see all these welcomes. So that's what everybody on here is like. Oh, there's Isabel. Hello, Isabel. Perhaps Isabel knows Veronica. Who knows? And there's Shirley. All these welcomes to you. So we do Trisha Time. Well, I'm on 3 times a week. One of the places I'm on a Tuesday evening is in the Sew with Trisha group. I don't know if you've heard about it, but the Sew with Trisha group, I was going to say, what was I going to say about it? I've got my little list. Bear with me a minute. I must go and get it. I've written it in here. there we are. I brought it halfway through and didn't get it to here. Yes. Oh no, I hadn't. Yes, I had got it down. So, in the Sew with Trisha group, apart from all the demos we have every Tuesday evening at 6:30, we have a bag of the month. So that this month was the Imogen bag. After I demoed that in the month, it actually goes on sale for £6 on my website. But if you're in the group paying just £5 a month, that is yours for free. So it's in a PDF form, so you just need to save it, print it, download it, and keep it, and that's yours to use forever and a day. We also do a block of the month. Now, even though we start in January, every block is in the group with a demo. Oh, Valerie. Hello, Valerie from Glasgow. Welcome. I don't know your name. I haven't seen your name before either, but welcome, welcome. So that's 3 new ladies tonight, which is lovely. I don't know where you heard about me, but I've been about for a little while. You know, like they say, I've been around. And I'm still here. I used to be on, or I have been on Create and Craft, Hachanda, the craft store, for a little while, but I'm just taking a break at the moment because life is a little bit hectic and I can't fit it in. So, yes, so with the Sew with Trisha group, it costs £5 a month. Okay. Money might be tight at the moment, which I can totally understand, but as I say, it is very good value for money, as a lot of the lady, or every lady in the group will say. So we have the bag of the month, a block of the month, they're all brand new. We have a sewing technique, which we use the quick screen triangle grid this week. We have then the mini quilt, so a brand new mini quilt, that will be this Tuesday coming. And the other big thing, especially for this month, so actually, yeah, at the end of the month, so next Thursday being the 31st, firstly there will be which we do every month, the monthly fabric bundle giveaway. So I will draw one name from all the members in the group to win a fabric giveaway. There's usually anything between £50 and £100 worth of goodies. All Moda Macawa, charm pack, layer cake, whatever, strips. So that is free to one lucky lady. But this month we have a Benina overlocker. Hello Leslie and hello Wendy. A Benina overlocker, brand new, sitting in the box, and that is going to be going to one lucky member's home as soon as we know who that is. Also, there is another giveaway, which I haven't decided, it will be fabric-y based. But I'd like all of you that have seen it, if you all have made anything with the potato chip block. There's a competition in the group. Pop your make that you've used it for. Hello Jill, that you've used your potato chip block for, or many, many blocks that you've made something with. And I would like everybody in the group to go to that particular post. It's in featured, so look at the top for featured, and there is headed up competition. Hello Carol. If you go on there and go down and either like or love any of the pictures you see, and the picture with the most votes will be the winner for that particular competition. So there's 3 things going on next Thursday, but apart from that, there's always discounts for being in the group, discounts on kits, discount on Orofil thread if you love that, and also most of the times when it's appropriate, when I do, like tonight, when I'm doing a demo, I will write up a PDF, I will write up the instructions for members of the group, so that's another thing that they can download, print and save. So there's probably other, and also it gives you the opportunity to belong to no, not much, Fiona. Yes, it gives you the opportunity to join the swap group. Now, we've just finished a 6-month swap group, and we've got a new one starting in October, so the demo will be in September. So with the swap group, it's going to be scrap projects, so using fabric, scraps of fabric, and I will have a different design for the next 6 months. So you can elect to join that if you'd like to. The only thing we ask is that you commit to doing all 6 of those swaps. So make sure you have the time to be able to do that. And Lindsay organises it all, and she will send you an address for whom you should send your swap to. And in return, you will receive a swap from somebody. It'll be a secret swap. You won't know who it's going to come from. And actually today, if you're in that group, all of the swaps that have been received over the last few weeks have been shown. I haven't put mine up there yet. It's beautiful as usual. So that then the person who made that swap can say, I sent that to you. And it's just a lovely little thing that a lot of us enjoy. I think there's more than 70 in the group at the moment, but you've got a little while to be able to join, but you do need to be in the group. So if you have a look on the website, there is a post. There is an item there, join the Sew with Trisha group, and you pay your £5. What you need to do then is request to join the group, and Lindsay or I will approve you, and you can have a look to see what's been going on since January. As I say, you could even start the block of the month because that's already there right from January. And we're hoping to complete that at the end of the year with binding, with backing, with wadding, with quilting. So it's something we're all still looking forward to. So that is, so I've done the 2 of them, the overlocker giveaway and the potato chip block. Scrap boxes that I had on the last Thrifty Thursday, and that I shall put them on the website as well. They will be £25 plus postage, and with the scrap boxes there will be colours. So what you'll get in those is 2.5 meters of white on white fabric, plus 4 long quarters of the particular colour choice that you choose, whether it be reds or blues or yellows. And then the rest of it will be different scraps, different sizes, lots of different pieces of fabric in quite a large box. Let me show you one. I haven't got all the contents. This is the start of some. So there is the box. It contains quite a lot of fabric and the start of the remainder of them. A lot have gone out today, so you can start stalking your policeman, your postman. Where's the policeman? So yes, they will be going on the website. And then before I show you what we're going to make today, I thought I would just show you what I demoed last night. So last night I launched the September subscription box. So these will go out from the middle of September. So it gives you a chance to save your money, to, if you can't afford at the moment or you haven't been paid yet, it gives you a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks even, to decide if you would like. So this is one of the makes, or one of the kits. This one is the mauve option, and this one is the blue option. So this is the picnic bag with a drawstring top. There we are. And you get the full printed instruction pack, photographs and wording, there we go, to be able to make it. You also get a reel of 100 metres of Gutermann cotton thread, 100% cotton thread, and the little gift this time as well is a 6-inch wool pressing mat. And this is all for £30, including postage. So hi Yvonne, so quite good value, very good value for what you get in the selection, in the selection box. So as I say, it's either the blue option or the mauve option, or the other option, I'll just show you what the, is the panel option. If I just show you the little panel, or the big panel, so this one is the panel option, and with this one, rather than 5 long quarters in your pack, in your kit, you get a subscription, a panel with all these delightful animals, and it's from the same range. So you've got foxes, deer, rabbits, hares, whatever you would like to call them, and an owl. It would look lovely hand quilted, so a bit of hand quilting. So with this one panel you get 3 long quarters. With the other ones there's 5 long quarters in the coordinating fabrics. So although I use 1, 2, 3, no, I use 4. There's a little bit of 4 of them. There's actually 5 long quarters, so you don't have to use the scenery fabric. You can use the other fabrics as your outer and make something else with that. And I was thinking, you've been sitting on your hands. Oh, I was thinking, or I reckon you could probably make 2 out of the subscription box and still have fabric left over. All you do need to add to it to make the bag is your own lining fabric and your own wadding. So, Sunday. Goodness gracious, Christine. They must be working hard. Wow. Yes, so, as I say, and also, I forgot to say, I said yesterday I will put the piping cord, so you will get the drawstring, the piping cord to go in the drawstring as well. That's what I meant to do. Yeah, okay. So, that's all I was going to say about, just as a little catch-up. I love the cows too. While over the weekend, should I get time, I will put, there are some other coordinating fabrics within that range which are lovely, and I was asked last night, I haven't had the chance to get them done today, but I'll put the other coordinating fabrics on the website as well, so that if you wanted to get any more, you could do. I know there's some more sheep ones. Get your hands from underneath your bottom. I know, it is just lovely. Anyhow, I will get those on the website, and I'll see if I can come up with anything special as the bank holiday weekend deal. But my brain's just been a bit mush, I think, today. Been doing so many things and thinking of so many other things. In actual fact, I haven't got time to do it tonight, but I saw a little, I quite often see these little Japanese or videos come up, which are very quick. They show you what the project is, and they're very quick. There's no wording, there's no measurements, and I think, oh, that's good. And there's one I've seen today, and I thought, oh, I've got to do that. So, it's a quick method as usual. I might incorporate it into the next mini quilt, because it's brilliant. I know it will work, and as soon as I saw it, I thought, I've done something similar many years ago, but you know how you forget things and you think, oh yeah, I did that, and it's not at the top of your mind because you move on to something else. What's that, Catherine? You've got so much fabric that you could miss that. There we are. You could sew until doomsday. I know. That's what I think about here. You know, when you buy all this fabric from me, it hardly touches. It's like the tip of the iceberg, and I don't know anything has gone. So, Lindsay. Right, shall I show you? So this is, I don't know if I've seen Jenny tonight, but Jenny requested, so put your request in by all means. There is, oh, it's in the Sew with Trisha group, isn't it? But Jenny requested, and I haven't done the biggest one, so what I'm going to show you tonight, you can do in whatever size you like. We're all guilty, I know. I was before. I mean, obviously I've got an excuse. I supply, don't I? But I like to be able to just look through all those fabric. Oh, Jenny is watching. Hi, Jenny. So, yes, Jenny asked if I could do a circular bag with drawstring. So I thought, yeah, we can do that. So, yeah, you can all come and stay. I think there's a few bunk beds in one of the studios, Studio 1 and 2, I call them. The newest one, there's some under the lowest rungs of the racks. You can lay along there, and I've also got the cushions in there off the patio furniture, so you'll have like a mattress to stay on. Your son said he's drilling clearing your bunk. I know. I think about it too, but that's all I do. You back to the dining room. Oh, there is carpet showing in the dining room now, Fiona. You can actually get in there, which you couldn't before. But I must clear the windowsill, which is growing. I mean, every delivery man that comes there, he must think, what on earth does that woman do? I know what I do and you know what I do. Anyhow, you've got a tent. Okay, yeah, there's a bit of grass left. Yeah, you could pop your tents here as well. So, let's just draw this out. So this is what we're going to make tonight. It is a circular drawstring bag, and you can see there's the drawstring around the sides, sits on the floor. Yes, could do. Yep. Yes. Oh, that would be great. That'd be great. Parking's not very good out here, but there is, we could sort it out, Tony. Catherine, it's not just my dining room that's full or my bedroom. It's practically every room in the house. But I have got a little bit better. Where I am now, the conservatory, is tables. Not too bad at all. Anyhow, here is our drawstring. And I put the cords in so that you just draw the sides up. Oops. And you let the inner go in there. And it just pulls the centre up like so. And there you have your drawstring bag. So this one, I used my little ruler. I'm going to show you how. So I used my 8-inch ruler. So this was about, the circle to begin with was about 16 inches diameter. So from one side of a circle to the other. But you might want it bigger. You might want it for a toy holder for the grandchildren when they come round with their Lego or their Duplo. And you can just open that up and you can leave it so it's not totally open, and then the sides stay up. You can just throw them all into the middle and then draw it up and close them all in. You might want to make a smaller one, which mine is going to be a little bit smaller tonight, so it doesn't take as long, but the technique is just the same. I did think it would look like a shower cap, actually, Anne. I thought that when I did it, so let's just, so you could, how about that, hey? Just how about that? Don't you think I would look quite sexy with the shower cap like this? Yeah, never mind. It would work though, you could put elastic in there and it could be a shower cap, most definitely. Oh dear, my hair's all. And I even did it tonight, instead of having it, whoops, that side. Instead of having it tied back like I usually do, I thought we'll have it hanging long, because look how long it's got. It needs a trim, it really does. So, yeah, I'm going to show you insulation. The fabric is insulation for the winter. To you, Ellen. It made me laugh. I thought how silly I looked. Anyhow, if you want to use a plate, if you've got a big plate, made large, yeah, this one would hold makeup most easily. In actual fact, I should probably put all my little bits and bobs around the sewing machine, and I would never lose them, would I? And if I only open it a little way, like that, I've got a big enough hole to throw it into, and it won't fall out because there's basically sides. Now the other thing with it as well, the way we're making it, it's reversible. It's just as good on both sides. So we have a reversible bag as well. So as I say, it's very difficult to have a template for a large circle. I've got my circular rulers, but they are about, I think that's about 8 inches across. Is it 8 inches across there? So it would make quite a small. Now what you need to probably think is that the bag will come out half the size of the width. So if the width of yours, like mine was 16, it comes down to about 8 inches wide, because it draws up into the little channel here. So, oh, it's thundering, Jane. Oh, I don't want thunder. At least I haven't got a car roaring or the lawnmower going next door to me, which is good. So let's have a look to begin with. Let's move this out of the way. And what I'll do, so I can show you the easiest way of making yourself a, lovely Christmas gift, and even the container. An easy way of doing a circle. So all I've got is 2 pieces of fabric. they're squarish. Doesn't matter if they're rectangular, because we're going to get a circle out of them. And we are only going to, let me use this one. I'm only going to use one for one piece to do my circle on. So I'm going to pop it down on my mat because we are going to be cutting, obviously. So let's just bring that over there. So here is my fabric. And I've got my ruler for doing a little bit of measuring. You don't need a patchwork ruler. You can just use any ordinary ruler for doing a little bit of measuring. So the first thing we're going to do, and it doesn't matter whether you have your right side up or your wrong side facing up, first thing we're going to do is fold it in half, edge to edge. Okay. And we're then going to fold it the other way, edge to edge, to make a 4 layers there. So we've got 4, you can see there, 1, 2, 3, 4, all folded. Now at this point here, we've got all the folds come together. So that is our centre point. We'll just smooth that down, not press it, but just smooth that down so that those folds line up that side and that side. Now, depending on how big this is, it might be a little bit rectangular, but what we're going to do is measure. So I think the biggest one, I'll go to about there. Let's see just what, no, it won't be 8. So that is about 5, or it is on the 5 mark. So on my ruler, I'm at 5 inches. So now I'm going to do it 5.5, that's a bit small, just to fit your fabric. So whatever will fit your fabric. So it's 5.5 from that point there to the end of the ruler. So I'm going to make a little mark like that. You can see that black mark. So I've made that mark. So then I'm going to move the ruler, but still keeping that 5.5 mark on that corner. And then I'm going to do another little mark at the end of my ruler. And I'm going to move it again, keeping that point on the fold. We'll make another little mark, move it around a bit more. The more you do, the better. The more marks you make. So 5.5, I think it's raining now. 5.5, do another little mark there. I'll do one more in between. Still got my 5.5 there. And then until we get right to the end, I've got my 5.5, and it will say this in the PDF that is in the group now, and then we will put a little mark just there. So you can see all those marks going around. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join those marks, and like so. So as I say, the more marks you've got along here, the easier it is to join them. But I'm just using a bit of artistic license, if you like. So there we go, and we'll go down here, and then down to the bottom there. So I've drawn myself that arc, and now all I'm going to do, I'm making sure that all stays together, and then I'm going to get my rotary cutter. You can get your scissors if you like, but I am just going to cut on that line. I'm moving it, aren't I? And I'm just going around, like, just holding that down. Okay, so you can see now we have that cut away. So we can now open it out, and there we have a circle, a pretty good circle. So rather than doing that twice with my other piece of fabric, I mean, you could, but I guarantee your circle won't come out identical size. So what I would do now is put my circle that I've drawn, cut onto the other fabric, right sides together or not, as the case may be, and then with your rotary cutter or scissors, if I was using scissors, I'd pop a few pins just so that it doesn't move. So I'm just going around here. I'm going to move, I'll just move the mat around. Oops, where did I get to? There we go. So And this way I'm going to have 2 identical circles. So we'll just keep cutting around there, and it's not moving, which is good because we don't want it to move. And just go around. And as I say, this is by far the best way of getting 2 circles that are exactly the same size. So if you want your circle to be much, much bigger, just use a longer ruler. I think we have cut that now. There we are. Just use a much longer ruler and have, I don't know, 12, 15 inches or a tape measure. Use a tape measure and just make your markings to whatever size you want it to be. So we have ours now. We've got 2 circles, which are the same size, which is just what we want. The next thing we'll do is take our bias binding. So I've got some ready-made. You can make your own, but ready-made bias binding is just easy to use. Now I've got my, let's see, no, it's going to pull that. I'm just bringing in the iron here, because with our bias binding, as I have here, is 1 inch wide. But what I'm going to do is open it, so open those pieces out, and then I'm going to fold it in half and press it. Now you don't have to. I'm going to take that little bit off because that's where it was joined. You don't have to. You want as much bias binding as will fit around the edge of the circle, plus an extra 2 inches, because we are going to be folding a little bit. So here is our iron. So all I'm going to do, just make sure I have enough, is open it out and place the raw edges together, and then I'm going to iron it. Okay, so I'm still lining up those edges, and we want it to be, so it doesn't matter if those crease lines don't disappear to begin with. Let's just pop that there. I'm standing up to do this because it's easier to do it that way. So, or what I could have done actually, we'll leave that like that. Let's just open that out a little bit. There we are, and they might fold together. There we are, so I'm pressing it open, and it's funny how it actually goes a little bit limp, but then as soon as it cools down, it goes stiffer. So, that's it. So that is much easier, having ironed it open completely, and then fold it over, but make sure those raw edges line up so it's exactly in half. There we go. I'll tell you what I love about this Aliso iron. It doesn't burn my fingers. It doesn't have a jet of steam coming out here, which I think is really good. I was always getting burned fingers with my other ones. And I know you can buy finger protectors, but oh, they just got in the way. So I love my little iron. They are quite, I haven't got any in stock at the moment because I think the suppliers are out of stock themselves. But they are a considered purchase, but I do love mine. I've had mine for a few years. Okay, so I think I may have enough here. Right, so I've got my bias opened up and folded in half. So let's just move the iron back out of the way, because what we're going to do now is, let's go back to the sewing machine. I'm going to take just one of the circles and I'm going to fold it in half anywhere, because it will be exactly the same wherever. And then I'm going to go to the edge and fold. I'm not going to press it fold, but I'm just going to hold those two. So those are the halfway marks at each end. just hold it like that. And then I'm going to make the tiniest little clip. You can put a pin there if you want, or a mark, but I just find a little clip, and then you see that little notch there? That is showing you halfway across, and there's the one at the other side there. Because we're going to put our bias binding on in 2 pieces, one that goes halfway around and a separate piece that goes halfway around, because that's what's going to make the channels for the piping cord to go into. So what we do, we are going to start near one of these notches. Let's see, let's put that in a little bit closer. There we go. And I'm just putting my, we'll have a 1/4 inch seam allowance as usual, and I'll have my stitch length at about 2, because I want it to be a little bit like patchwork. So before we start with our bias, what we need to do is, this is a raw edge across here, this short end, so let's just fold that over, and I can just give that a little nail press, fold it back together again, so I've got that folded, and then onto the right side, and just where that notch is, you can see that little bit there cut out, that's where I'm going to start. So, here's my foot pedal. So when I start, I am going to reverse a little bit, just to, there we are, just to keep that nicely secure. And what I need to do with bias binding, because it is cut on the bias, it's a little bit stretchy, but I want to make sure this edge, this raw edge, goes exactly around. Right, let's get my, there we go, that's it, there, so that my hand isn't in the way. I want to get that exactly on the edge of my circle. So I'm going to stitch around there, so I don't want to see, so I'm just pulling that, I'm not stretching the bias, but I am, my hand's in the way again, isn't it? There we are, let's see if that's any better. So I know I've got my, so I'm just making sure that goes right over to here and is lining up with the edge of that fabric. Now can you see if I went straight, that's not going to catch this fabric here. So we're just going to manipulate that around the edge, as I say, so that the bias is right on the edge of our circle. So we're just, and I'm just watching for that other little notch to come, because that's where I'm going to stop. So let's just flatten that out. If you pop your finger onto the bias, that actually flattens it out to the edge and holds it in place. You could go around the whole edge and pop pins in, but like I'm doing here, I'm just holding my finger down, so push that out to that edge so that the bias meets the edge of the circle. Now we are back there again. Keep my finger down on it. Now here is my notch coming up here, so let's just pop that down. And before we get to it, so perhaps a couple of inches before, so that is there. So I can now, there is the notch there, so I can see that roughly, you notice I didn't cut my bias in case it wasn't long enough. I'm going to just cut that a little bit further than that notch, and then when we get to the notch, I'm going to, there we go, right, we're getting there almost, so just do that last little bit, and then leave enough space, because I want to fold back, so open this out, fold it back, perhaps I've gone a little bit too far actually, no, I've got too much on there, so I don't need that much, so let's just trim a little bit more off, but I'm going to fold this bias back so that it's on the edge. Just pop that in there, fold it back so it's going to the inside of our bias, and Just use my nail there. And keeping that to the edge. And let me put my, you can see there, that's where the notch is, just there. So I'm going to go just around to the end of the bias now, do a little reverse stitch and cut. So there it is. I've gone all the way around here and I've got to the end, and there is my channel. So I'm going to do exactly the same again now with a bit more bias tape. So we'll take it back again because we're going to start just the other side of this notch. Just go up there, that's it. So I'm going to fold that little bit back, not quite a quarter of an inch or so, fold that back in half and then place it down, not overlapping, but right next to where we finished. And we'll start again and we will start stitching. Whoops. No, I've pressed the wrong thing. Hang on, there we go. Oh, very sensitive the machine. So, there we go. One more, that's it. So, we'll start stitching again. We'll just reverse there. And then we're looking at where the bias tape is going again. So, I've pushed that round to that outer edge of the circle and stitched a little way, and then just pushed it a little bit further round, and then we'll do a little bit further again. So just pull that. The bias is going in a curve, so we want the bias to meet the edge of the curve without really stretching, but you are just manipulating it so that it does fit to the edge. Because what we don't want, if we'd used just a strip of straight grain fabric, you'd have to pleat it as such, and then I don't think the cord would pull through your channel as easily as this will, because this is going to practically be, it will be straight, but because it's on the bias, it is going to be much more flexible for us. So I'm still holding my finger down on the bias just to hold that in place, and also making sure that's going to the outside. And you see there's no pleating. Okay, and we're coming up now. We've got the end there. So I think what we'll do, we'll just trim this now because I can see that's about right. And I could even, while I've got a little bit more flexibility there, I might just turn this back, fold that back, so I can see that will fit just there, fold it over, and then that is still fitting around the edge of my circle. So just pull that around, and we'll just reverse at the end there. Let's just see if that is in. Oh yes, that's just about right. So I'm going to trim that little bit off, because obviously I've got that just over a little bit more. So what we have here, so we'll take that back out again. So what we have here now is our circle with the tape, the bias binding all the way around it. So what we need to do now is those will just flatten in. There we are. So, and put that out of the way. That is just going to flatten in to the centre. We've got the edges of our channels here and on the opposite side. We're going to take our other bit of fabric, our other circle, place that on the top. And what I really would suggest here is that we do pin it the whole way around, because we are on a stretchy edge. That the whole of the circle is stretchy, and we don't want it. We want it to fit perfectly the whole way around. And if you just start sewing, which I will admit I did on the original one, and there was a little bit of excess fabric, so I managed to get it hidden. What would also be a good idea would be, so I'm just putting pins in as many places just to hold it, accurately together. But you could actually fold it in half and then in quarters on both pieces so that you're matching it all perfectly. But that is lining up beautifully. If I started to stitch without having pins in it, I guarantee that it wouldn't fit perfectly. Right, so I have one more here. And for me, you know me, I don't pin very much at all. But this is one of those times when pinning is a really good idea, just so that we get perfect matching up, perfect alignment. So also it's probably good, just pull that over, just make sure that it's probably good to go halfway and half and then in between. So like I've done there's 2 pins and have one in the middle of those, and then the same here where there's 2 pins or 2 pins there, we'll just have one there. So I've got that pinned the whole way round now. Now we are going to have to leave a gap, which I usually say not to leave a gap on a curved edge because it's hard to turn the curved edge in, but we've got to. We have no choice, it's a total circular edge, so we do need to turn a little bit. And we're only going to leave about, say, 2 to 3 inches to turn it through, so it's not a big deal. But we're not going to do, so where this bit is here, this is where the channels meet. We're not going to do it near there at all. So I'm going to suggest we start here. So I'm just going to take this around to the machine and I'm going to stop. Let's say I'll move that a little bit further away. So I'm going to stop at the pin prior to that one. So we're going to do exactly the same as we did before. Well, I say exactly the same. We're going to stitch around the circle. So when I start off, I am going to reverse because this is where we're going to turn it through. So let's just keep our 1/4 inch foot on, and I'm using my fingers to hold the fabric down as well. Oh, that light is a bit, isn't it? Oh, don't usually do the light thing on here. Probably because the light is dimming, isn't it? Now I wonder, let me just see. Let's just see if I can find a light setting. No, not there, not there. Okay. There we go. Oh, we're back to it now. Okay, so I'm just going to keep stitching. I know the light is blinding you a little bit there. Let's just see if that... Oh, that's a shame. I didn't realise. As I say, I do believe it's because the light is fading and it's just making it glare a little bit more. But you know exactly what I'm doing. I'm stitching a 1/4 inch from the edge the whole way around. So I'm just holding my fingers onto the fabric just to keep that nice and flat rather than having puckers or pleats in it. And I'm not stretching it because I've got those pins in just to keep that nicely aligned, like so, and we will soon be round to the next one. There we go, so we're going around, and it's making it easier because I have got, so it's this next, not this next pin here, but the next one is where we're going to stop. So there we're going to stop. So again, I'm just going to reverse there and cut. Now normally with a circle, what I'd say we would do is clip into all of these edges. But on this, I'm not going to. I'm just going to, it's only 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to turn it through to the right side. I'm just going to run my fingers around the edge where the bias binding is, so that opens it out. And what I should have done before I did that, I was going to actually iron a 1/4 inch back here. So this is where my opening is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to finger press. So I'm just folding that 1/4 inch back. I'm trying not to actually stretch the fabric because, as we've said, it is on a bias edge of a sort. It's not an exact 45-degree bias, but it is on a stretch because it's cut across the fabric. But I've just nail pressed that down so that that is going to fit nicely down onto here once we've got it pressed. So I am going to give that a little press. So I'm going to bring in the ironing board again. There. So I'm going to press near to these outer edges because I want these to line up nicely. So there's the iron. So I'm going to pull the fabric so that the bias binding is pulled out, so that then the fabric is going to line up on top of each other at both sides. So give it a pull across, and the bias binding will probably just sit up, but that doesn't matter because it's going to be drawn up soon when our piping goes in there. So just give that a pull, like so, and just press that around there. And when we get to the little bit, you can see how that is standing up. When we get to this little bit here, just make sure that's out, and I'm going to actually put that over the end of the ironing board. You can see how I've got that over the edge here, and lay that down and just pop that in place just to give that a press around there. And we're going to start with stitching this bit first of all, because I always like to close a gap. Actually, I'm going to leave that as it is. So I've left that bit, but we are going to stitch around there first of all. Okay, so we have there. So I'm going to use a few pins for this piece because we just want that to sit in a similar sort of place as the rest of it. So you put a pin to hold that, and I'll just pull it a little bit so that that just lines up nicely there. That just goes out a little bit, but this is all going to be drawn up, so you won't see any of this at all. So if it's not quite as neat as you'd like it to be, don't worry, because, as I say, once the piping cord is in the channel, you're not going to see any of that at all. So let's just come down again. So we will start just right, and I'm just going to top stitch on here. So I'm top stitching on the blue, not the piping, not the channel. I'm going to top stitch around here, and we'll do it about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge. So I'm still keeping it on a fairly low short stitch because we're going around curves. So just keep that pin in until we get to it. I'll just poke that in just a little bit, and there's another pin there. Then I'm going to take this one out so that I can manipulate that just a little bit, just so that I get a fairly smooth curve, like so. And then I'm just going to carry on all the way around this edge. So I'm actually pulling out the channel. I'm pulling the channel away from the fabric so that it's just giving me a nice, neat finish all around where the bias binding is inserted. Because what we do, hopefully the pressing will have got that out, but it might be missed a little bit. We might have pressed a little pleat into it, but by doing this and around, so I'm pulling, you can see, so the bias binding is coming out, and we're almost back to where we started. So let's just take that off there, and you can see there I just top stitch just under where the bias binding comes out. So that is, let's just get that little bit of thread there. Okay, So we're nearly there. So on this side, you can see that's just as neat as our other side. So now we just need to pop the piping cord into these channels. So what I like to do, whoops, there we go. What I like to do, I have got a little tool which I sold lots of last week, or the week before even. A little bodkin, and I want to do 24 inches. Let's have a look. Now for this, so what I would do to measure the piping cord that you need, you want 2 lots that go round once. So let's just lay that around. Okay, so you need about the circumference of the circle. So can you see, just chop that. I've got one piece that goes the whole way round, and then I'm going to want a second piece exactly the same length. So, you know, so I've got 2 pieces now, exactly the same. So with this particular little tool, I think I've only got a couple of these left, and they're not very expensive, but you open it out. It's got a little slider here, a little ring, and you push that along and it holds this end together. So I slide it back, and then I'm just going to make that as small as I can. Grip those teeth around the end of the piping cord, and then push that little disc up there, and it holds it. And then you use this as like a big bodkin. That's what it's called, I think, a bodkin set. So what I'm going to do is slide that into my channel. That's it, keep going. And because it's nice and long, it doesn't take long to do it at all. So when we come to the other side of the channel, we're going to carry on all the way round until the cord comes out. So to stop those edges, just press that down to open it out, and the end should just come through. That's it, without pushing the raw edges out. Okay, so let's just take, so I've still got a big bit there. So I've pulled that through to there. I will pull it through just a little bit more. What you don't want to do is pull it out of the other end. So I've come through to here, and I'm just going to carry on going along this side. So just push that in and pull it, and push and pull, push and pull, and then it will come out at the same side as we started going in. It will, there it is. So we can just pull that until we get that little knot, or where we grabbed hold of it, like this. Then I can release that little washer, and then down there, that comes off. We can take the other end of our cord, and we can hold that, and then I'm just going to double knot it like so. So if you are happy with it just pulling up from one side, absolutely fine. What I tend to do is just trim that off so it's like a tiny little tassel on one end. So what you can do, then just pull that so it's all, if you don't mind pulling it all so it all just draws up on one side like that, fine. But I do like a drawstring at both sides, and then you can just pull it. So there we are. So I'll leave that as it is. I like to have a drawstring at this other side as well. So where is my, there it is. Okay, so let's just open that out just a little bit. Okay. So to get that effect, by having a pull at this side, we take our other piece of cord, and we've opened out our little tweezers, or not tweezers, little grabber grab the, because it starts to unravel, I just tighten it up again, grab that around so that's held nicely, and then just hold that end, push that washer up, and that's grabbed that securely. So what we do now, we have our cord coming out that side, so we're going to start at the other opposite side and push it through again. And we'll do exactly the same as we did with the first one, but because we start from the other side, we'll be knotting at the other side as well. So we will just keep going to the next opening, which is there. So we can just pull that along there. You have got 2 pieces of piping cord going through the same channel, which should be fine. So let's just pull that through just a little bit more. Oh, I've got a bit that's, oh, it didn't hold all of it, bother, never mind. So this is going to be a half cord on this side, or it's got a piece. So I'm going straight into the opposite side of the channel, like so, and keep going around here. What I'm going to do, can you see, it's just, that little bit is one of the ply, if you like. So I'll just pull that down, there we are. Might pull it off now. Where did I get with it? Here. So just keep pushing this through until we get to this side here where it started off. There it comes. Whoops. Pull that through. We decided it got stuck there. Pull, pull. Pull that a little bit further. And there we go. What you don't want to do is lose one end of your cord. There it is. Okay. So let's open this up. It's lost one of its ply, but never mind. So I can just pull that off. That's it. So we're 2 ply all the way on this one. So we'll just pull that through just a little bit more to even up with this end here. And we can just knot that. So I just did a double knot, push those ends through, and that will hold that firmly. You can pull it that way. We can trim those little bits off to give us a little tassel. And then what we can do is pull it from both sides to draw it up. So there is a smaller one, because I did a smaller circle, and if you want to tie that into a little bow, absolutely fine. But there is your circular drawstring bag. Okay, it does the same. Pollyann does the same. So, as I say, that one is just a smaller one. So it's a baby shower cap, that one. And just like the other one, it is reversible. So having pulled that up from both sides, which I do like to do, you can undo that. And as I say, if that sits on your dressing table, the jewellery is not going to fall out. And turn it the other way, get fed up with seeing one colour, got all little bits of thread on there, but there we have the other colourway. And the thing I love about the drawstrings at both sides, as I say, you can just pull that from both sides and it draws up. So it's nicely symmetrical, if you like. So you can just fussy that about. There we are. Oh, there's Josie. Hello, Josie. So, as simple as that. A drawstring trinket tray. Absolutely. Thank you, Jackie. Wonder clips. Yes. You see, I am going to put one of these on my... Oops, open it up. Just put your hands in there and pull it. I'm going to have this sitting on my table here, next to my machine, and then the first thing that's going in it is this, because I've lost my other one, and I have got another. The set is, where's that gone now, you see? I'm just useless. There is a bodkin that goes with the set. What did I do with it? Goodness gracious me, I don't know. But yes, you can put whatever you like in there. It can be on your dressing table with your jewellery in, but I think that it's going to be ideal for me if I've got a little scissors or snips, pop them in there. You've got two Catherine and Carl. I know, I think we said that today, didn't we? Or yesterday. Where are they? Where is it? You know. Do you, Pollyanna? I wonder who that might be. Hello, Michelle. No problem. You can always watch it back later. So, that was our little drawstring circular bag for you. And do whatever size you like. But thinking back to how I showed you how to, could you use a jelly roll strip instead of bias binding? A jelly roll strip is on the straight grain, Karen. That is the problem, which is what I was saying earlier. I use bias because it fits around there nicely. You see, when you're trying to put your straight edge around there, you will get little pleats, or you will have to pleat it. But it can be done, but you'll have a slightly different, it will be a lot chunkier around the top because it didn't fit. Can I use this for the hedgehog? Absolutely can, Janet, absolutely. Make as many as you like. And, you know, make some money for whoever, whether it be charity or yourselves. It'll even hang on a door handle. Yes, yes. That's a good idea, Sandra. Yes. It could hang on the door, couldn't it? With treats in. I've got a drawer with treats in. Thank you, Beverly. You have a lovely bank holiday too. So, I'm going to love you and leave you now. If you'd like to join the Sew with Trisha group, please do. It would be lovely to have you there. Just search for Sew with Trisha. It's on the website. Or alternatively, just send an online bank payment through. And as soon as we see that, we will approve you into the group. And you'll be able to have a lovely weekend of looking at all the demonstrations in there. Every bag demonstration since January is in there. It's just that the measurements won't be given there. There will be a PDF on the website to buy if you love it that much, or you could work it out yourself. The other thing is the subscription boxes. If you like those, they are on the website too. And yes, apart from that, have a lovely evening, have a lovely weekend, have a wonderful bank holiday Monday. You might even see me with... I keep threatening to do, thinking ripstock, yes, keep threatening to do a little impromptu live showing you the overlocker. I haven't got round to it yet, but you never know, I might do. I've got a football match to go and watch tomorrow. Oliver, who's coming up 7, but he's going to play for the under-8, so I'm going to watch him. And then my eldest son is coming to see me for the first time this year, because he lives away and works a lot. So we're all going to have a family weekend as well. However, you have a lovely weekend yourselves. Thank you for your company tonight. I appreciate it truly and love being with you. But take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye for now.